Hi, it's Elisa at Bowen Library with a whole new teen book spotlight. So this week we are all about some classic retelling. So what we're doing today is we're taking a look at 6 different books that take inspiration from classics written in the past, characters from past classic literature, and these authors have given them a spin either in today's world, or we even have some that are those classic retellings that are set maybe in a reimagined world at that time of the original work, or the same mannerisms, character traits, all that type of stuff. So we have 6 amazing creative titles we're going to take a look at. So let's get started. Our first one is Catherine. Okay, so Chelsea has grown up in a small town in Massachusetts thinking that her mother, Catherine, has been dead since she's been 3 years old. So basically almost for her whole life. At 17 years old now, her world is completely rocked when she discovers that her mother isn't actually dead. Instead, her mother left her and her father when she was 3 years old, and she chose to leave to go back to New York City. Now, Chelsea decides she wants to go find her mother. She wants to confront her mother. She has some questions and she wants some answers. So she sets off on a journey for once and for all to figure out what is actually going on, why she left. And on this journey, she has this path, this road of self-discovery that she never could have guessed. Now, you will not only get this story from Chelsea's perspective, but then you have the other perspective of these flashbacks to her mother, Catherine, when she was 17 years old, living in New York City, and she was the daughter of a punk club owner, and she was considered to be rock music royalty. This retelling of Emily Bronte's Wuthering Heights is one that's tragic. It's filled with every single emotion you can think of. It will make you want to read the original source material. April Lindler, she also wrote this one called Jane that is all about Jane Eyre retelling. Incredible read, incredible story, Catherine. As I Descended. So in this spin on Macbeth, roommates and Lily, they are at Virginia's exclusive Acheron Academy, this boarding prep school. And it's there that they are keeping a secret. Not only are they roommates, but they are also in love, and they don't want to tell their families. They know they're going to be rejected, so they keep this a secret. They are just trying to graduate. They are seniors because the goal is once they graduate, they are going to go move across the country and they are going to go to Stanford. But the only way that is honestly going to happen is Maria has to win this coveted Cawdor Kingsley Prize. And if the winner of this prize is guaranteed full tuition for 4 years to the school of their choice. It's the only way Maria is going to be able to afford to go to this school. Standing in the way of this, though, is Delilah Duffrey, who everyone thinks is a shoo-in for this prize. So Lily and Maria, they decide they're going to have to do something to get Delilah out of the way. Deciding what they're going to do about this, what do? Oh, they decide they're going to break out their Ouija board, and Maria and Lily contact the spirits that reportedly haunt their school. Now here's the deal. This school was built on a southern plantation and is filled with haunted spirits. They contact these spirits, and before they know it, they are not the only ones communicating with these spirits, and things soon start to get out of control, and no one is safe, including Maria and Lily. And this haunting and thrilling retelling, this one will stay with you long after you finish the story, just like Macbeth. That one can be pretty haunting as well. This is As I Descended. Sherwood. In this retelling of the Robin Hood story, Robin Hood has just died fighting in the Crusades. Maid Marian is devastated. She is grief-stricken. Now, with Robin dead, the Sheriff of Nottingham, who is now in charge, he has given Robin's land to Sir Guy of Gisborne, and he wants to marry Marian. When Marian sets out one night, she realizes how people are living now due to all the series and sequences of events. She realizes she needs to do something about it, just like how Robin would. So what does she do? She dons Robin Hood's cape and becomes a new Robin Hood, one that people wonder even if it's his ghost. setting out to right wrongs and solve injustices that are being done to people. This female-driven adventure is one that turns the story that we know of Robin Hood on its head and looks at it in a completely different light. That is what a classic retelling is supposed to do. Sherwood does just that. Legendborn. Okay, so we are looking at a modern take inspired by the classic King Arthur stories. This is it, okay? Now, 16-year-old Bree, she's going through a lot. Not only is she this genius whiz kid who's at an early college program at the University of North Carolina, which is a lot of pressure in of itself, her mother was also just killed in a car accident. Bree has no idea how to deal with her grief and all of this. It is 2 days into the program that she witnesses a demon attack. That's right, a demon attack, which gets her sucked into this secret society called the Order of the Round Table. And she learns more about herself and her history than she ever could have imagined. Now, when a war starts to brew between the demons and the Legendborn, these are the people that are part of the Order of the Round Table, she is going to need to make a decision that will not only impact her future, but also the future of society as well, which is pretty intense if you think about it. Now, this fantasy that's set in the Deep South pulls no punches, okay, especially when it looks at systematic racism and it's filled with some action-packed, fast-paced fantasy. This is the first in a series. Book 2 is out. I will warn you, it is fairly a lengthy read. I think I listened to it. It was 18 hours, okay, to listen to it. But I will tell you, again, if you love a fantasy that kind of turns a story on its head, that is deep, thought-provoking, action-packed, Legendborn has all of that. So this might be your must-read for the summer, Legendborn. The Last True Poets of the Sea. So in this retelling of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, Violet is sent to Maine for the summer, okay? She and her family used to go to Maine every summer. Now it's just her going this summer, and she's going to spend it with her Uncle Toby. And this is a result of a couple of things that have happened over the past months, including Violet with her nonstop partying, it's gone out of control. She recently was just suspended from school at the end of the year for marijuana. And then there's her brother who had an attempt at suicide, and now he's in Vermont getting treatment for his goings on, okay? It's left her family completely rocked. Violet didn't really know how to deal with what went on with her brother. Now, she is in Maine, not of her own choice. It's there she is forced to volunteer at this local aquarium, and she starts to make friends, okay? And as she makes friends, she starts to hear some stories about the town and the people in it, including her family and their history. Now, as she starts to research and discover more about her family's history, especially that of her great-great-grandmother, she starts to actually find herself wanting more answers. And as she starts to dig and starts to try to find these answers and make connections, she may find that she may not be prepared for what she discovers, okay? As she continues this journey through her summer and she ends up making friends, Violet finds herself coming to terms with her brother's mental illness. She is wrapped up in an extremely complicated love triangle, and she is also dealing with trying to figure out who she is as an individual through this love triangle. And she's developing relationships with friends and family that she was determined not to do that summer. She may leave this summer completely changed. If you like a good realistic book that's filled with a little bit of mystery, a ton of emotions, figuring out who you are, relationships, The Last True Poets of the Sea. And our last classic retelling is My Fine Fellow. So in this retelling of My Fair Lady, it's 1830s in a reimagined London. So London, like how it was for real in the 1830s, does not exist in this book, right? Even to the point where it's, Queen Charlotte is ruling because King George III has passed away. He's not even on the throne type deal, okay? So in this reimagined letting, we meet Helena and Penelope. They are the top 2 students at a school called the Royal Academy of Culturina Artisticus, okay? Now this is a school that trains cooks and food consultants, and they go out to get jobs to find the elite of society to help them out. And here's the deal, these jobs are for women only. Only women can be chefs and food consultants, okay? They are entering their final year of schooling, and they are going to need to put together their final project. So they start exploring what they're going to do for their projects, what represents them and this profession. And it's when they are out shopping one day that they come across Elijah, who's a street peddler who's selling empanadas. And Helena has an idea. She is going to take Elijah under her wing, and she's going to turn him into the best amateur gentleman chef there has ever been. But that is going to be easier said than done for a number of reasons. By the end of their journey, the 3 of them will discover aspects of themselves they never knew existed, as well as how individuals are viewed by society, especially if they are considered different and an outsider. Okay, again, on this take in My Fair Lady, gender roles are reversed. Great story. This is My Fine Fellow. So these are just 6 of the books we have here at the library that are some classic retellings, that they take inspiration from the stories and characters of classic stories of our past, okay? We have more than these, but I encourage you to come on out, check out some of these amazing creative stories, or we can help you find whatever that story is you're looking for that you want to get you through this summer, okay? Keep in mind, if you're signed up for summer reading, make sure you're tracking those hours. If you're not signed up for summer reading, you still have time. We go, like, you still have about a month left of your summer reading that you can get it done. I hope you tune back next week when we have a whole new teen book spotlight and have an amazing time.